Thank you. And now we have Denise McKee from Disabilities Council.
Okay, I'm reading mine, but I'm really loud, so I'm going to try to make sure everyone hears. So I was really happy. I'm not angry. I was really happy when I learned a few days ago that there would be a Yellowknife march. As part of the Canadian marches in support of women's rights, because 3 of my children, 1 son and 2 daughters, were going to be walking in Edmonton, and I couldn't be there. Sorry, my mouth is actually this upset me because we had started as a singular issue, has grown into many, many groups that experience marginalization on a regular basis. So I plan to walk here with my son and husband in support of women and people living with disabilities as part of the unity principles that were outlined in the Washington March. Yesterday, Nancy reached out to me to speak on this principle because of my association with the NWT Disabilities Council and NWT Autism Society, and with Autism Canada, and perhaps as the mother of a young man living with different abilities. Immediately, I thought of the Bloomberg poll that reported that the single most egregious act of the election reported by the majority of people polled was the point where the president, the now newly elected president, openly mocked the speech and mimicked the movements of a disabled reporter. I understood through almost 30 years in the field and as an advocate for families of a not so distant past when people living with disability had limited to no rights and institutions were the norm, where this overt dehumanization, characterization was not considered offensive. That is why we cannot take one step backward. We cannot let the rhetoric of discrimination or bigotry infiltrate and give pause or reason to anyone who does not want to look forward but wishes to retreat into the past and remain in the status quo. Today will be the largest rally of the disabled community in one place, with an estimated 45,000 people in Washington and many more participating worldwide through social media and the web. Many more people cannot attend in person due to the accessibility and accommodation issues, and although the optics may not show it, this community represents 15% of the population, with our northern rate estimated to be even higher than the national average. The truth is, disability is fully inclusive. We are part of every group here. Disability is universal, and it does not discriminate based on race, sexuality, gender, social or economic status, religion, ethnicity, or age. In Canada, the highest percentage of human rights complaints continues to be disability related. Here in the territory, it is more than 50% of all complaints. People living with disability, both visible and non-visible, experience barriers on a physical and systemic barrier and basis in education, employment, housing, supports, income security, political engagement, and social inclusion. Women in the disabled community experience these barriers and effects at higher rates and with greater impact than their counterparts in the non-disabled community. This is experienced nationally and globally, but the North is unique. Due to its vast geography, isolated small communities, cultural uniqueness, capacity, and historical context, the impact of barriers experienced by people living with different abilities in the communities is exacerbated. This has been recognized on a national level with the federal government's development of a plan on disability to include, oh, see, they give you a flyover. With the federal government's development of a plan on disability to include a northern specific component, the territorial government has followed with current work being done to develop a new disability action plan. However, these plans, like any plans, to address inequity must be developed and driven by and with the inclusion of the people they directly impact, and recognize advocacy groups and not by bureaucrats. Any plan must address the general population through education and awareness to reduce stigma and stereotypes. So today we walk united with the understanding that every group here is somewhere along the path toward equality, and that there is a desire for change that has been forged from a place of discrimination and social exclusion. Whatever your personal reason for being here, I believe that we all share the common goal to create communities where every person has the right of self-directed full citizenship. We stand together to signify that our uniqueness and differences is what makes us stronger, and that a fully inclusive society which values all its citizens is how we choose to define ourselves. We exist together, and our success and failure is dependent on each other, and not just today, but every day. And we pledge that any time these values are threatened, we will continue to stand together to ensure that misogyny, racism, bigotry, prejudice, and discrimination can never be allowed to triumph. It defines us not only as Canadians and Northerners, but as human beings. Thank you.